Hi, Patrick.
Hello, hello, sir. Trying to get my lights here. I think I look dark.
I might be too bright.
Yeah, we got the light side and the dark side. So we're just let people make their own determinations here.
We'll give it a... Oh, I'm too bright. All right, I'll turn that down. Am I too bright? Well, anyway.
You're brighter than I am.
Well, it's sometimes it's too bright for some, too dark for others. I guess as long as they can see us.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if things start glaring off of the porcelain when I start showing.
Yeah, that's the thing. If I hold up a piece of porcelain and it looks like I'm holding up a snowball, then you'll know.
Yes, back it off.
Turn them lights down, boy.
Happy Monday. And happy Monday to everyone who's joining us in the chat.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I can't see it. Oh, hello from Connecticut, Elena and Karen. Hi, Sarah, and so forth.
Hi, Norma.
What is your zodiac sign? I'm a Cancer, but that means nothing to me. I don't read horoscopes. I don't know what they mean. I just know I'm a Cancer. Not that that's wrong if anybody else is into it. I don't.
You're just crabby.
What? Oh, the
crabby. Cancer the crab.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know anything about zodiac stuff. I just don't follow it. It's not my cup of tea. But I am a Cancer.
I will say that I don't like follow it specifically, but I had a colleague one time that was really, really into it. So she was doing what time of the day were you born, all that kind of stuff. And the one thing that I took as a takeaway that I've always remembered is I am a Libra, and my whole mentality is I am very much things have to be in balance. I don't like when people are disenfranchised. I don't like when people are taken advantage of. That's where kind of where the trusty huckster part comes from. Like I'll sell you something, but I can't take advantage of somebody. Like that's just not something I can't feel like I won if I feel like you lost. We both have to win. Mm-hmm. So it's a balancing thing. So Libras are the scales. And so I don't know if that's a universal thing, but I kind of liked it. And sometimes I find myself going, yeah, I kind of do like to have things in balance.
Very good.
I'm still trying to figure out what Raj is. He's an Aries, and I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's. And somebody said, well, Aries and Libra aren't supposed to be together. I'm like, well, we're working out pretty well. So thank you very much.
I hear you, Patrick. And I am interested. I'm trying to balance everything. The question is tonight the Unbreakables live sale? Thank you for asking Mom to a few. Patrick and I sort of did away with the title Unbreakable. We will still bring some linens and some ephemera, although I have no linens tonight. But we have moved into include breakables. So it's a little bit of everything with us, not just the unbreakables. I appreciate you asking. Patrick, say hi to Raj for us. Karen is asking you to do that.
Thank you, Karen. I definitely will.
Karen Gagnon. Yes, the only ephemera that I have tonight are some cookbooks. Now, I did a preview video, well, sort of. It was a preview live I did earlier today, and I know you did one as well, Patrick. I saw it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I actually quite a bit of ephemera. I don't think
and some Nippon.
I don't think I've got any cookbooks though, so you'll have the corner on the cookbook market tonight. But try to find some mix, and I do have some other unbreakable-y stuff that is not ephemera, but lots of breakables too.
Yeah, other than my cookbooks, I'm all breakable here.
Yep, we're breaking the rules on the unbreakable sale. All good. My goal is still to be able to ship it. So I still don't bring the champagne flutes to the unbreakable sale. I don't want to deal with that.
Speaking of breakable, I'll tell a story while we're letting everybody gather. Most of the folks are still out gossiping in the narthex. We're waiting for them to come into the, into the sanctuary. If I might use liturgical terms. I several years ago, it hasn't been that long, I was running around like I normally do. And I said, I think I just broke a toe. Well, it was the little toe. And I know you can't do anything about it. So I said, well, take an aspirin and go to bed. I went to bed, got up the next morning. I said, yeah, you broke it, you big dummy. So I said, well, I think that the old people said, well, you tape the broken toe to the one next, you just put some tape on it. Well, I went out in the kitchen and got some tape and taped my broken toe to the good toe, and off I went. Well, New Year's Eve came, and I went out dancing on New Year's Eve. Yes, I danced, and it was New Year's Eve. And a couple weeks, at least 2 weeks later, it was not getting any better. And I said, well, I better drag myself to the doctor, and I did. And the doctor said, you big dummy. Guess what you've done? What? Did I break a toe? Yeah. Should I have taped it to that other toe? Well, not really, because that other toe is broken as well. You taped two broken toes together, and there's nothing I can do about it now.
Oh, wow.
Now, they're not misshapen. I mean, they healed beautifully, if I may say so, and I'm not. But anyway,
Scott the foot model. He has
that.
recovered.
I broke two toes and taped them together, broken. And still on New Year's Eve. Now, would you like to tell us some strange bodily function?
I actually will. I am dealing with another injury that's difficult to do anything about. I had a blunt force trauma to my chest, and I heard a crack, and I thought I cracked a rib. And so I got to hop on the internet, because if it's on the internet, it must be true. So I'm like figuring out, okay, is this serious? Because I could still breathe. It wasn't puncturing a lung. And so I figured out, okay, I didn't crack a rib. Maybe I fractured a rib. Maybe I did something in the cartilage. So I did actually see a doctor, and they just said, they're like, well, so they said what I did was I tore some cartilage between the ribs, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're like, the best thing they can do is you can if you really need to, you can kind of compress it, but you got to be careful with that, because then that's like compressing your breathing and everything. And they said, so it's just like 6 to 8 weeks. It's just going to take its time, and it's like each day it feels a little bit worse. It happened about 5 days ago. And so that was why I finally actually saw the doctor, because it felt worse 2 days later. Like, it felt bad the next day, but then like the day after that it felt even worse. I'm like, I'm going in the wrong direction. But they said, no, it's just the bruising, and I can't even see the bruising. So that's a whole other issue. But yeah, so yeah, you get those injuries that there's really not much you can do about them.
Yeah.
And you just deal with it.
Well, here is speedy recovery. Well, it's just a day-by-day recovery, that is. So all the things that your mother says, take your time, don't overdo it, rest. Yeah, easier said than done. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, it's one of those cases too, because I've never had anything like this before, so I can't even say I've lived through it. But I can go through most of my day. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't even think about it. And then I bend over to pick up a pencil. I practically pass out. So you got you deal with what you got to deal with. So I'm alternating between my my ibuprofen and my acetaminophen, so I can when the pain does kick in. But for the most part, I don't know why I shared that, but I felt your pain almost literally with the broken toes, because it's just one of those injuries that can't do anything about it.
Well, with all of that said, I'm Scott. That's Patrick. Welcome to the Not Really Unbreakables live sale. If you're old, then you know how this runs. And old, I mean if you've been here before. If you're new, I ship out of New Jersey. Patrick ships out of the outside of Chicago. I'm outside of Philadelphia. Shipping is extra. I want to thank Karen Williams tonight, who is going to take care of our starts and stops, if that's okay, Patrick. She said she would.
Perfect. Lovely.
I think she said she would.
We'll see if there's just silence when we start selling things. We'll see. Well, maybe she
will know why. So she's going to do that. We will go back and forth. We're going to run till about 10 o'clock. It might go a little bit after 10 o'clock. And if you are someone that we already know, not because of eBay, forget that. But if you have purchased from us before on live sales, then we have your information. If you've never purchased from us before, you don't have to pre-register or anything like that. All we ask is that you please send us an email during the sale. Like, once we tell you you've won, there's certain information that we have to have. And we really need it during the sale to make sure that we are connected and we can get invoices out. My invoices will go out tonight if I still am up with the energy, or they'll go out first thing tomorrow morning. And I know you haven't received your items from last Monday night. They are in the mail, and they're on their way. Everything is on its way. Patrick, what am I forgetting?
I think you pretty well covered it. The only difference is I am not typically as speedy as Scott in getting my invoices out, but I hope to be able to get them out by tomorrow night or Wednesday morning. So that will be my goal, so that I can get those out and ship everything by the end of the week.
Well, we have 227 folks who are joining us right now. I'm thrilled that you're here. We have 5 thumbs up. Can we get some thumbs up? That does a little something. And if you guys could do that, if you're on a device and give a thumbs up, that helps us, helps the channel and all that stuff. And thanks again for being here on Monday nights. Try to catch out Patrick's channel if you can, if you're new. I'm sure Karen will put the link in. He has a bank of old videos that are in there that you can watch, and he does his own sales and has this, all of his own channel. I hope you guys will give it a chance.
Appreciate the call out there. And so Trusty Huckster Mercantile is my channel. My email address is here, and I will reiterate with Scott, since we are in Scott's channel, a lot of you are regular customers of Scott. If you buy from me first, thank you, but I do not have access to Scott's database. So if you buy from me, even if you buy from him the same evening, I would appreciate you still sending an email to my email address so that I have your information directly. Scott is more than happy to help me when I need to, but I hate to bother him after the fact. So
not a problem. We all help each other out to get everything squared away. And on that note, I'm going to take a breath and turn it over to Patrick and let you begin selling.
All right, we're going to do two items each again?
Sure, we'll do 2 items each. And
okay.
Karen is going to do our starts and stops. So we thank her for her moderating, and I shall now enlarge Patrick, and you have the floor.
Awesome. All right. So if you are already following my channel, you may have seen I did do a preview, a video. I think it went Friday or Saturday. I made it live. But I do have a couple things that did not make it into the preview. So starting with this. So this is a $12 start. If you do follow my channel, you will have recognized this because I did a video. I attended a live auction, which I had not done in a while. And this is one of the items that I picked up. And it is a lacquer box. So it is, I have my tape measure out here. It is 8 1/4 by 4 1/4. And it is a little over 2 inches tall. It has the inlaid mother of pearl in the lid. You can see it has the, let's see, Raj has tried to train me on this. When their necks are sticking out straight like that, I believe they are herons. When they fly with their necks crooked or crooked, they are egrets. So I believe that means it's herons. Or I could have it completely reversed, but you've got big white birds flying through the clouds in the mother of pearl. And it's got the rosewood mahogany, or rosewood / mahogany / lacquer box. It does not hinge. The box comes completely off, and it is also a high gloss finish on the inside as well. It is in great condition. There are no missing pieces to the mother of pearl, and there are no cracks or anything in the wood. Got a couple surface, smudges that you probably be able to polish those off, but really nice, clean edges where it meets. No markings on the bottom, but you can see a little bit of where it was sitting. Oops, and it's upside down. When birds fly upside down, I guess it means they're dead. So this is the box. We're going to go through things pretty quickly because I have more than enough to probably age, Christina. You're probably looking end of 20th century. This is not an antique piece. These are things that are made fairly consistently, can also be touristy type items, recognizing that these are not rare pieces, but they're lovely decorative objects. And that's why the price starts as low as it does. But I'm not seeing any activity on this or any bids on this one. And I do want to make sure we get through as many things as possible. So and right there, Joan pops in. So I'm going to go ahead and start the countdown. Thank you, Joan, for starting us off. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yes, my light works perfectly fine because it's very high glary. 1, 0. So beautiful piece. One of those cases you can't fall in love with everything you buy because that makes you a hoarder. So that's the lacquer box.
Pretty.
Watching for the stop.
Joan Plavier is your winner at 12.
Thank you so much, Joan. And then another item, this had been in a preview from a previous sale that it never made it into the sale. And somebody had asked me about it, so I'm offering it here. This is an $8 start. And it is going back to an era we all recognize because the baby kind of indicates it with the clothing. We have a bifold 8x10 silver tone picture frame, probably from the 70s, would be my guess. Maybe 60s. It has the great little feet on it so that it is still hinged, and it has little feet so it sits up a little bit. It's got the green velvet on the back. It does have the hooks on there that you can hang this. Now, I've never seen a hinged frame like this that you can hang. I hear Scott laughing.
No, well, you know what I think of? As
What?
a child, I think of every old aunt and uncle that you ever visited. There was always that picture frame on the back of the big old console television set.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can have an instant relative right there.
Right.
Because you have to take the big piece out. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it because I'm not going to sell the picture by itself. So you get a little instant and you can give them a friend. You got the other side. But I did measure, they are 8x10. The frame's in great condition. It has some really nice detail around the edges. See if I can do this without blinding you with the light. So you can see it's got the dental detail along the edge and then a nice little etched design on the inner border. So it's got the double border. And oh yeah, the copper baby shoes.
Yeah.
I was at it. I can't remember. I was maybe an antique shop. I was someplace and I saw the copper baby shoes. And I'm like, yeah, I remember those. I never had them. I was a second born. So my parents did all the cool things for my older brother. I got nothing. I didn't even have a baby book because my parents were pretty much, they were done. They were done with that.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the baby's probably I would have said from the 60s. But if you think it's from the 40s or 50s, I will not argue with that. I question whether that is a hairstyle or it's just the hair. So anyway, it was just a fun item. I had stuck to the side. Somebody had asked about it because I'd shown it in a previous preview. I don't see any action on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on this and push it over to Scott to let him do his items.
All right. Well, the first thing I've got is our big sugar bowl. My word, heavens to Murgatroyd. That starts at $20. $20 on the sugar bowl. Now let me tell you about it. This was made by Duncan and Sons. That's right. That's that Duncan and Miller that we know of in the 30s and 40s. But during the EAPG era, that was old George with his sons. Now this is line number 30. They operated in Washington, Pennsylvania from 1893 to 1900. This was introduced in 1897. Yes, 1897. It is at least, well, not at least, well, yes, at least as old. That's as old as it could be. 1897. The pattern is also known as diamond cut or scalloped 6-point. Now I'm going to read to you the description. By the way, it is chip-free, crack-free, and it is a sugar bowl for commercial use. We're going to let this go to someone maybe for domestic use if you like a lot of sugar. You're going to get the information that I just told you from the early American Pattern Glass website. But I'd also like to send you an original advertisement. You see that?
Fantastic.
That's that. You can't argue with a primary source. I love it. Let's see what it says. Sanitary glass sugar bowl. Many establishments have found that the covered glass sugar bowl is much more satisfactory than any other. The bowl is easy to clean, while the cover keeps out dirt and flies. I love that. The cover keeps out dirt and flies. The bowl here, blah, 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 blah. There was a 12-ounce one and a 30-ounce one. That, I think, is the 30-ounce one. I'm sorry. There was a 14-ounce and an 18-ounce and a 30-ounce. This is a nice big one, and it sold for $2.65. So there's an original antique advertisement from it, which you'll also get. And I'm going to count it down. The high bid is somewhere at $21. So you've got a covered sugar bowl placed with a spoon. You can imagine walking into a restaurant at night in 1900, and that being on the counter. Certainly. Let's
You do have a question. It asks if the cover comes off.
No. Well, no. But it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's held on here. It has a rim that holds it on. So it opens, you clean it, and the cover stays on there. So to take that cover off, you'd have to pry it with a screwdriver, and I wouldn't advise it. So we'd leave it on. Thank you for the question. I'm sorry I didn't get to see that. I guess I'll count it down. The high bid right now is 23, 10, and of course you get the paperwork with it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the George Duncan and Sons covered, commercially made or supplied to the commercial trade. Sugar bowl with lid, introduced in 1897. Do I need to subscribe to bid? Yes, you do. Because actually, you're not even supposed to be. I put a 20-minute. It's now 21 minutes after. So you can see us, but yeah, we do need to be a subscriber. Thanks for asking, though. Subscriptions don't cost anything. Susan, you just subscribe to the channel. It'd be appreciated if you could do it. To both of us, to both channels. I hope you would. And then you won't miss anything. The stop is in, and it goes to Cheryl Miller at 40. That's the sugar bowl. And that's Cheryl with a C, I remember.
Yes.
Now, I only had the delay on for 20 minutes, and it's now 21 minutes. So she doesn't necessarily have, she's not necessarily subscribed. I had a 20-minute delay on subscribers only, and it's now 22 minutes. So we can see her comment unless she made comments earlier. So Cheryl, you do need to double check it and see if you're not Cheryl. I'm sorry. Whoever that was.
Susan.
Yeah. Because I only had a 20-minute delay on. Okay. Fenton, right? Unmarked. It's made before 1971 because it's not embossed Fenton. It starts at $18. No chips, no cracks. Amberina. It's beautiful. It has cardamom in it. No, I know it's not cardamom. What is it? No, it's cadmium.
Cadmium.
Karen
I
Williams.
said you just if Raj were here, you would just perked up his ears because he loves cardamom.
Well, it's got the cadmium in it, but you can't see it because I have all these lights on. I was watching a documentary on cardamom. Now, I know you may say, gee, it must be a lot of fun hanging around you, Scott. Well, I have that kind of a mind, and I actually sent the link to Karen about 2 hours ago. I thought she would be interested in the history of cardamom. So anyway, Karen says, oh, now I get it. Amberina, Fenton, it is 8.5 inches across. It's just a pretty Amberina. Print, like, I don't know, Peggy B has our opening. Peggy B 1222 has the opening bid of 18. And now Marie Dilly at, I know cardamom is a spice, Joan. I mean, thank you. I knew that. Yes. Now everybody thinks I don't know that cardamom is a spice.
No, somebody else had asked what cardamom was.
Oh,
Joan was answering the question as I was as well.
So sorry, I apologize. I can send you the link. It was a wonderful documentary on cardamom. I bet Karen didn't even watch it. She said, here he is sending me these dumb links again. 10.
And Raj could give us a recipe on how to use the cardamom.
Randy, you knew what cardamom was. Oh, come on. You know you did. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on that. I'm going to do that. We're going to go back to Trusty in a minute. Let's see who our winner is on the Amberina piece. She only cares about manganese. Raj likes cardamom in his food. I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Raj has an entire 2 cabinets filled with spice jars, and all
Yeah.
of the spices are written in the native language of the spice.
Oh, look
So
at him.
some of them are in Hebrew, some are in Arabic, some are in Hindi. It's all, I can't find anything.
The stop is in my. I see my winner is Melinda dash ha ha hana hana 683 something.
I see the same.
Thank you, Melinda. I think you're new. I love it. Round of applause. I think we have a new round of applause and reverse. Melinda, will you send your information to me, please? If you're not sure what it is I need to know, Karen will put it in there. Karen, you are fantastic. Thank you, everyone who placed bids. Patrick, it's your turn. Thank you, Melinda. I'll
All
look
right.
for your email.
So one of the items that I did have in my preview is some ephemera. I love my ephemera. I know that not everyone is really into it, but I decided to pick things that I thought would be attractive to the Scott type audience. And so we were going back to 1937, and these are you get both of these, and it is
Now,
a
wait a
start
minute,
of.
Patrick. What does lingerie and how does is that lingerie?
It is lingerie, but it's lingerie of 1937.
Well, I have to tell you. I'm just going to let it go, and I'll let you continue.
I'm sorry, I don't have any lingerie of 1925 to match your home.
That didn't make it any better. That didn't make it any better. You may continue.
So this is a pair of Good Housekeeping Magazine lingerie selling tools. And I'm sorry, this is a $20 start. Sorry, Karen. You get both of these. This is not choice. You get both. One is from 1937-38, and the other one is actually from 1938. And what these are they are training tools on how to sell lingerie in a department store. So in the inside cover, you get the salesperson. You get a little message that says, and my light is way too bright. You can't see what that says. So it has a message to the salesperson, and it has images of first, we've got period reference sources of 1937. What did lingerie look like? And what I loved about the 1937 version is there's a little breakdown that gives the history of underwear. And it starts with, what did it say? It says, from the starched 90s to brief scanties. So in 1887, we had the pantaloons up here in the corner. And then we went to 1897, we had the knickerbocker drawers. Then 1907, the umbrella drawers. 1917, the combination. 1927, the introduction of the teddies. And in 1937 were briefs. So this is 1937. So you have the introduction of briefs, but you're going to include teddies, fascination of handmade lingerie. You've got all this information about lace decorating the lingerie. Great black and white photography going through here. And then also the silhouettes of the briefs. In 1938, we go to tricode knits and Milanese, which sounds like mayonnaise. But so we've got 2-bar tricot or glove silk. So you've got the development of artificial fabrics and synthetics coming around, rayon, silk, and cotton. So you've got kind of a little historical document in addition to all of the outlines of what lingerie looked like in the late 30s. And you get both of these. I do see an opening bid, so I'm going to go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And then I'm going to go ahead while we wait for the stop to come through and figure out who the final winner was. I'm going to show one breakable item that I had not shown in my preview because it sat on the floor right next to me and I forgot about it. But I wanted to go ahead and include it because I specifically picked this up to do in Scott's sale. So the lingerie catalog sell for $20 to Gail Cathy. So thank you very much, Gail. So this, if you are not familiar, is a glug jug. So this is it's a nicer piece. So this does have a start of $45 and is a Majolica glug jug from the late 19th century. So it might be even earlier in the late 19th century because this one is not marked. So it may have been before the McKinley Tariff Act. But it's got this great glaze. It's in fantastic condition. There are no chips. There are no cracks. None of his fins are knocked off. The glug jug is exactly what you think it is. It is a pitcher that when you pour it, it goes glug. And I did test it. So I don't know if, I think it's because there's also an opening in the tail. I think that's where the air gets caught. I will say with this size, and the size is 11 inches. For the 11-inch Majolica glug jug, you get about 1 or 2 glugs. I tried pouring quickly. I tried pouring slowly. I tried to figure out what was the best way to get my glug return on investment. Typically, I was only getting 1 or 2 glugs out of it, but it did test, and it did actually make that glug sound. So gurgle jug was another name for it. All different types of styles. There was a reproduction made of them that became a liquor bottle or a liquor company, but that was always printed right on the neck. So this is one of the older pieces. It has the felt on it from where I got it, but you can see there's just kind of a little stray mark down in the bottom, but no actual stamp on this one. Great color. It does also have, there's different designs out there. This one does have the leaves built into the bottom of it and that they are a different color. So there was some detail put into color, but like Majolica, it tends to get put on very heavy. The tin glaze put on very heavy. And so it's, you know, it kind of overshoots a little bit of where that brown tip goes onto the tail, kind of a figure of Majolica paint. I realized it was a higher start point, but it's something that's probably going to end up going on eBay if it didn't sell here. So I wanted to give everybody a chance. I don't see, I just need to start saying I don't see earlier because that's when the price bid comes in. So Patsy is getting us started at 45, but going to keep things moving and go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9. Look at that great pink color on the inside. I had to figure out how to make sure that it's not too glary. Look at that great pink color. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
One of the things I appreciate about you, Patrick, and if I were someone purchasing from you, I trust your scholarship and the diligence with which you study these items, and you are trustworthy. So I did not know about glug jugs. I just learned something new, and I'm delighted to have learned that. And that sounds wonderful, that piece.
Excellent. And it looks like Patsy M is picking that up. And you're getting it for the 45, Patsy. And then it goes back to Scott.
For the record, Patrick, not that it makes too much of a difference, I have only been in women's pantyhose one time. That is when I was in a production of Pippin, the musical. I guess they were considered tights, but I have very hairy legs. And I was not happy about the way I looked in red pantyhose and black hairy legs. I was hideous. But it was Pippin. We had to wear them. I didn't like it.
I think you're selling yourself too short.
Well,
I'm sure you had great legs.
Well,
and I've only done it once. I did Some Like It Hot.
Shave my legs, but I don't know.
No, I wouldn't shave my legs. I did Some Like It Hot. I wouldn't shave my legs. I just wore two pairs of pantyhose.
Well, anyway, did you sell your lingerie things?
I did.
Oh, good for you. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I've got a green cake plate, no uranium. So maybe you'll get this at a really good price because it's not going to go astronomical because there's no glow. It is from around 1930, and it starts at $15. It's an 11-inch cake plate, pedestal cake plate. No embossed anything on it. I love it. It's just a plain green depression glass pedestaled cake plate. See there? Yeah. So it sits on the table. It's flat, right? And then there's nothing embossed on it. And again, there's no uranium in this. Let me check it again. No, there's no glow on this. Okay, great. No chips or cracks. 11 inches, $15. Charlotte has our opening bid of 15. Did you see Ben Vereen on Broadway and Pippin? Wow. Lucky you. Was he the leading player?
He was the leading player. There's a live capture of it. I've seen it. I've seen the video, but didn't get to see it live.
Well, we will count this down. For those of you who love green depression glass, I've always loved green depression glass, and this is a pretty cake plate that I've never had before. 10, 9, 8. The high bid right now is 18. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Oops, on the green cake plate. From about 1930 to 38-ish. And our winner on the green cake plate. And just to get you excited about what's coming up next, our green cake plate is going to go to Irene Cousins at 23, I think. Look all right?
Yep, that's what I see.
Thank you, Irene. And thank you, everyone. We've got 277, almost 280 folks here at the moment. Now, I've got 2 compotes. It's $26. Karen, if you could start us off with that. Thank you, Karen, for your help, as always. These measure 7 by 7. You say, what do you mean these? You only have 1. No. I have 2. And they match. Pretty certain this is a Cambridge piece. Remember, Cambridge isn't always marked. Most depression glass, Heisey is sometimes marked, often marked. Cambridge is sometimes marked, sometimes. But the elegant depression is usually an elegant glass of that era, usually isn't marked. But this has got the hallmarks of Cambridge all over it. Cambridge Falls Story. American-made compotes. They measure 7 by 7, and they are both for one money. They're beautiful. They're chip-free, crack-free, elegant. I think that's 12 sides.
I can share a story about the marking when you have a moment.
They're 10-sided. The marking of what, Patrick?
About Cambridge.
Well, they took it off. The ladies didn't like it.
They didn't like it, exactly. So if you find a piece, it's actually a very early piece. Right. Most of it was never marked because the ladies who lunched complained that they didn't want to see.
So it's 2 for 1 money. I think they're beautiful, and they're versatile, whether they are for after dinner mints and peanuts, or you're having a brunch and you need jellies and jams, tall-footed.
Put some Christmas baubles in there, and it's part of your Christmas display.
I love that there's 2 of them. They measure 7 by 7, and again, they are chip-free and crack-free. We have no interest in the 2 compotes. We'll give it another second. We're going to wait to see if a bid will come in for just about another 10 seconds, and then we're going to put that hard stop in there. Once we put that hard stop in, we move it along. I like auctions that move. We like to talk and have a good time, but we also like to keep it rolling.
Okay, Cece's got you for 26.
And you've said you appreciate that, so we'll keep it rolling. 26, let's count it down. Anyone else, just jump on in. And thank you, Cece, for having us start out with that bid. 10, 9, you get both of them. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on those 2. More than likely, Fostoria, Cambridge, American-made, definitely, glass compotes, and they're going to date between the 20s and 30s, that era.
All right. First,
hold on. Just give me just 1 second, Patrick.
Yep.
I know Karen likes us to get our winner before we move.
Gotcha.
She does need a second. See, Karen, I'm thinking, all right, the stop is in. Lucas is our winner at 28.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, thanks to everyone else who
Yep.
placed it. Patrick, now take it away. Thank you,
All
Lucas.
right. So the next item, again, was in my preview. This is a little bit different because it is not offer up. I have 4 of these. So the first 4 people that want this, you just let me know. So I'll tell you what it is. It is, and again, a little bit more ephemera, but just a fun little piece. It doesn't have a date on it, but based on what's in here, we're looking probably the 50s. You can see the illustrations on there. What about you and civil defense? It is a little booklet that talks about how you need to be prepared for nuclear war. So, the uplifting comment that, we don't want to get political here, but it's got a little bit of history. Civilians can be bombed. Can our armed forces get along without civilian help? Everything in here is just a short little booklet. It is $8. The first 4 people that would like one of these for $8, just put in CD, civil defense, $8, put something in there. The first 4 people that want to claim them, you will receive one of the little brochures. But I'm going to jump. That's the first one. But I do. Okay, so Elena's going to pick up one of those. Thank you, Elena. Again, I think it's kind of fun. Put it on your end table, put it on your coffee table. It'll be a definite topic of conversation for people that come over. And Monica is picking one up as well. So thank you so much. And I will recheck that. Yep. So Marie Dilly is going where I wanted to go, but I promised Scott I wouldn't get political. So we'll just read Marie Dilly's comment. So the next item, this is Gail. Kathy is also picking. Oh, and Lucas is picking one up. So that's all 4. So Elena Cunningham, Monica, Lucas, and Gail, Kathy. So thank you so much. I'm glad those all sold. I really liked those, and I like being able to offer inexpensive items for people that will appreciate them, give them a good home. So this is a $20 start. I know Scott had a sale a few weeks ago that included Nippon, and I had picked up at an auction, actually same auction, I picked up that box that Joan purchased at the beginning of the sale, and I had a box of Nippon porcelain in it. Did a little bit of research, actually did do one of my trustees vintage deep dives and talked about Nippon because some of the pieces that were in the box were reproductions, even though they were marked Nippon. So I pulled those out and showed those separately, and those are now in my booth clearly marked as reproductions. This one, if I can do this in a way that you can see the mark, this one is legit because it is upside down, because it has the Morimura Brothers mark on it that says hand painted. It says Nippon, which was the word for Japan once upon a time. And Nippon started getting marked, as Scott talked about in his sale, as I talked about in my video. The McKinley Tariff Act of 1891 kicked in 1892, required things to be marked by their country of origin. Japan started marking things Nippon because that word is what they phonetically called their own country, but nobody here knew what that was. So in 1921, the law changed and it needed to be written in the language of the country it's being exported to. And that's when things started getting marked as Japan. So if you have a mark that is that says Nippon, it is between 1892 and 1921. Or no, 1921 or 1912.
21.
21. Okay. All of a sudden I said it out loud. Like, wait, did I have it backwards? So yes, my verbal dyslexia. So this is one of those pieces. It is a double-handled fruit bowl. It has a great shape to it. I love the square shape with the cut off edges. It has black and white, or black and gold. Don't see black as often. Usually they're a little bit more colorful than that. And it has the raised paint. So it has the raised slipware on here. So the Moriage, Moriaga, Moriage, Moriage, whatever people want to pronounce it. And you can see it is a bowl. So there's a little bit of depth to it. Size-wise, just the bowl, 8.5, because it's kind of scalloped too. So it's like 8.5-ish. When you include the handles, it goes a little over 10. The handles are gold, and then depth, you're dealing with 2 inches. So you're dealing with about 2 inches. There's a little bit of gold wear along the edges, from handling. The handles have, to me, would just have some great patina to show that this was not manufactured last year. This has definitely got something with some age. But the raised paint, and it's all the gold, which is raised. So the black is painted directly onto the porcelain, and it's all of these, crests and scallops and shields. You can see that's all what's raised up, and you can see it's still in really good shape. It was not over scrubbed. It still has a really nice appearance. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing any takers on my Nippon, so I have several pieces tonight. So if this is not a high taker, I may skip over some of the other pieces. But for now, I'll give it a couple more seconds to see if somebody comes in with that $20 start. If not, I will then pass on this. And thank you, Patsy, for the comments on my video. I put a lot of work into them, and I really do hope people will be informed. So I do not see anything. So I am going to put a hard stop on this. And I say that out loud, and Susan jumps in. Okay, so Susan gives me the 20. I will go ahead and count it down from here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Scott's showing off his clock.
I mean, it had to pick that moment, didn't it? Didn't you? It had to pick that moment.
It's got a beautiful tone, though.
Time is never right. Was that 2, Patrick, or just 1?
That was 2.
Okay.
And thank you, Susan, for picking that up. And again, for everyone who's buying, don't forget to send me an email just so I've got your most recent information. I would appreciate that.
Well, from one piece of Japanese export. Oops.
Hello.
We enjoy it. Take that. Hello. And Patrick. Every time I do the Moriage, I always get the pronunciation police, but you know what I refer to? It's kind of like foyer or foyer. It doesn't make any difference, right?
Amen.
The same word. Foyer has a little more of the French pronunciation. And I actually had a neighbor in my old building who was Japanese. And I said, can I say Moriage? He said, he said, it doesn't matter. So that's the little dots on there. Anyway, this one starts at 30. So, and it's unmarked. So we know that puts it before 1891 because there's no mark on it. And it doesn't have any chips or cracks on it at all. It's completely, it's in really good, it's in perfect condition. I say perfect. I mean that it's just not chipped or cracked. So it's antique. This is the Nippon stuff, but before it had to be named. So before they were naming it, putting stamps on it after 1891, same quality of really pretty Japanese porcelain. And it's got these wonderful rings. I love the empty negative space. Is that what you call that, negative space? I'm trying to get my finger through it. Is that right, Patrick?
Yep.
And it's all hand painted on both sides. So it's Victorian and it is antique. And as you can see, there's no mark on the bottom. And you have that wonderful raised paint. Raised slip. I know. It's when we talk, we just, but it's not paint. I missed.
You heard it right. You called it slip. It's slipware.
Yeah.
It's slip.
But I think it's pretty. I love, gosh, this stuff used to be a big deal to have all of this. And so we're looking for $30 on it. And the date or the measurements of it are about 7 by 6. 7 by 6 on the before they were stamping this stuff Nippon, but it's that era and that quality of item. Melinda Dash Han at 30. Thank you, Melinda. Terry also is in there. So a couple people have put their bids in, and I'll go ahead. If there aren't any questions about it, I'll count it down. I love how it's beautifully painted on both sides. Sometimes they get a little sparse on the back side, you know, not on this one. Fully decorated on both sides. And we'll count it down. 10, 9, and by the way, I say foyer. Do you say foyer or foyer?
I say foyer.
Foyer. Moriage. 10, 9, or Moriagi if you want. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's it on this antique Japan piece, which would look lovely on one of those mahogany Victorian whatnots. That piece, which I wrote down as an early Nippon, is Terry at 38. Melinda, I think you're 39, might have come in after the stop. Thanks, Terry. I appreciate that. Melinda, sorry you came right in after. I guess I could hit refresh just to be sure.
I see the same thing, but I'll let Karen verify.
Okay. And Melinda, well, look at you, Melinda. You did send your information. Look at you. I love it. You gave me your address. I have to be a guest for pet. You told me everything you needed to tell me. I love it. All right. So Terry, that would be yours then, the Nippon piece. And Melinda, thank you for sending me the information on the earlier piece that you won. The next thing we've got are 2 Mother's Day items. Now, we have a little bit of time before Mother's Day, but some of us like to plan ahead. The 2 Mother's Day pieces that I have, I'm going to offer both pieces, and they start at $19 for both of them. One is an antique and one isn't. The one that's not an antique is this pressed wood stuff, and everybody thinks Sirocco. But again, many companies made this, and they were making it from the 20s. Commercially, they pressed this stuff out. This one doesn't have a label on it, so it could be, and very well might be, a company other than the one in Syracuse. But it's that pressed pulp, and I'll read it to you. It says, "Mother, to one who bears the sweetest name and adds luster to the same. Long life to her, for there's no other who takes the place of my dear mother." And you say, "Scott, why don't you give that to your mother?" My mother doesn't like things like this all around the house. So she would not want that. But there's that with no condition problems. So you get that one piece. The other piece is this antique, beautiful plate. And this goes back to 1880. Figure the math out. Is that 150 years? No, that's 100 and...
Not quite.
Almost. And it says, "A good mother makes a happy home." Can you see it? A good mother makes a happy home. This is the bread plate. You get the info. This was made by the McKee Company, the McKee brothers of Pittsburgh, and then later Jeanette, Pennsylvania. They operated from 18 under that name. Now, McKee went on for years, but under the early name of McKee and Brothers before the Jeanette, they operated 1853 to 1899, and this was introduced in 1880. You get that with it. $19. 1880. A good mother will pile that up with pancakes. How about you serve your mother breakfast on that on Mother's Day?
Elena's got you started.
What does it say? It says, "A good mother makes a happy home." A good mother makes a happy home.
Mother's Day only 2 months away.
So there's that from 1880, and this easily from the 1940s and that kind of 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, mid-century, that kind of thing. All right, so at $19, Elena Cunningham, we're going to count these down. 10, 9. You get both. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the 2 Mother's Day pieces. That's my 2 pieces. I think. Was that 2? That was 2.
That was 2. So I want to find out how you discovered that your mother doesn't like things like that around the house. After too many times of trying to give it to her, or you just grew up that way?
Household. My mother and her mother did not like clutter. They don't like little deet stuff all over the place. They're not minimalists, but they're not into a whole bunch of little stuff sitting around. Anyway, the stop came in, and I'll have to go back and look it up. I think it's Elena Cunningham at 18.
Yeah, I think Norma was after the stop, unless Karen refreshes it differently. So Elena got it for 19.
Elena, thank you at 19. I appreciate it. You're welcome.
Okay. So this is something a little different. I don't typically do it this way. So I'm going to actually do a choice. Scott has done this. I've tried to learn from the master, and I'm sure I'm going to screw this up.
No.
What?
I'm not the master of anything. No, you do your choice, but I reject that compliment.
Okay, well, I've seen by example, and if I screw it up, it'll be his fault. So anyway.
It'll be my fault.
So what I have, I'm Trusty Huckster. I love salesman stuff. I love just cool things. And they happen to be ephemera, but they also happen to be mid-century modern cards. And what they are is they're not just the cards. They are the salesman samples that the salesman would have sold the cards to the store to carry them. Wonderful. So I'm going to first say that this is for choice. There are 3 sets. Each set has 4 cards in them, and I will show them all very briefly as people are bidding. But there is a set of Get Well, a set of Birthday, and a set of Miscellaneous. So those are the 4 options or 3 options you'll have. They're $18 start. So again, you get all 4 within a set, but it's choice of 3 different sets. So not to be confused. So the first set I'm going to show you is the Get Well set. So you've had an operation, glad it was successful because I want to shout hurrah. And you've got a duck sticking his head in through the window at the sick or the post-op little duck. Now each of the cards are in a little glassine or cellophane type covering. I'm assuming that has something to do with the salesman sample-ish, that's to protect them. I don't think they would have been sold with this plasticky piece, but I don't know that for sure, but they all have them. So you get the operation. This one says, and being from Missouri, I want to see the scar. Hope you're up and about soon. So there's that one. Thinking of you while you're ill. Kind of a gentleman's hat and tie. So again, from the graphics, I'm thinking these are probably from the 50s. Thinking about you and hoping that good health and happiness will return to you soon. Also with that little glassine cover. Just to say hello and hope that you are better. Get a little yellow bird with a little patchwork. Hello. And you open that one. So all of these are from the Western line. They are all these little black cards. They're not punched or anything, so I don't think they would have been in a book. So I don't know how these would have been shown. But yeah, the graphics are super cool. And then the last Get Well one is Get Well quickly, and there's a little bluebird on the front. And then again, open it up, and there's more artwork and the message inside. So that'll be one of your choices is the 4 Get Well. Then you've got 4 Birthday. So you've got Happy Birthday Brother-in-Law, which has 2 hunting dogs on it. Happy Birthday Uncle, which has kind of I guess not a teddy bear, but a bear holding an ice cream cone with little ducks on there. Happy Birthday Daddy Deer. And so this is 2 bears in a little canoe. And a birthday message for my husband. So I think that is a Cocker Spaniel, if I am not mistaken. So these happen to all be masculine birthdays. So you got the leash inside. You can draw your own conclusions about a wife giving her husband a card with a leash on it. I'm happy to have a husband like you, and I'm happy to wish many joys for you too. And it says at the top, you know, what the card number was and then how much the cards cost. Once upon a time, it cost only 10 cents. So we got for birthday. And then this 4 is what I had left. So this is a miscellaneous. This happens to be, so that's for male birthday, just so I don't confuse, because there is a couple birthdays in here too. So this is birthday, or this is belated birthday. So you can see belated birthdays at the top. It's card 8C. It was a 5-cent card. And you've got the, I think those are forget-me-nots. So I guess that's appropriate for a belated birthday card. And you get art and text on the inside. Then you get a happy birthday cousin. So that has a little girl on the front cutting out newspaper, magazine pictures. And then you've got, in a nutshell, it's your birthday with a street huckster. Gotta love the huckster stuff. So doing the shell game. So you've got that. And on the inside of that one says, I want to be on hand when it turns up. Happy birthday. So you've got that. And then the fourth one is, there is gladness in remembrance. There's a lovely little compact on there. I think those are irises. And then inside you get, again, some great artwork. There's even a little mirror reflective piece of paper in this so that the compact looks like it's a mirror. And Randy, yes, I would say based on this artwork, there's no dates anywhere on here, but based on the actual artwork, I would say, yes, these are from the 50s. So I do see a bid came in at the opening bid of 18. So I'm going to count it down and I'll just kind of show them again as the sets. So you get, for $18, you'll get your choice. And if whoever gets it, whatever the highest price, you can buy more than one. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And then I apologize for there will be a slight delay as we figure out who was the winning bid and which set or sets that person. And then if there's an underbidder, this underbidder would be able to get a set as well. So I see the stop and I see the first person that bid that got in for $18 was Lisa Moran. So Lisa, let me know which ones you would like. Would you like the Get Well, the birthday set for men, or the miscellaneous? The last set was the miscellaneous. So Lisa gets the miscellaneous for $18. And she's only claiming the one. So that means there's still the birthday and the Get Well available for Melinda Shehan. I apologize if I'm slaughtering your name. Linda Shehan. If you would like one of the other ones, let me know if you would like, for the same $18, if you would like the birthday or the Get Well set.
I think
or you can pass if you wanted the same set that Lisa got. Obviously, I don't have a duplicate. So let me know if men's. So Melinda would like the men's birthday. All right, excellent. So thank you so much.
Hi, Phoenix.
Both of you for picking those up.
You finished planting your shrubs?
We're going to put the Get Well separate so I don't get those confused. All right. And then my second item is another set. Now, this is another piece of Nippon, but I've got a pair. So bringing these in, I knew it'd catch Scott's attention. I'm getting the Scott Green. Again, these are marked on the back. They are a pair. These are marked. I think these actually say, these actually say Noritake Nippon, hand painted. But interesting on this one is, and I don't know if you can really see it, the center symbol is not the M for Moromoro. It's not the N for Noritake. It's an R and a C, which stood for, had to look it up, Royal Crockery or Royal China. So it's still imported by Moromoro Brothers. Did eventually become Noritake. The fact that Noritake's name is on here and the fact that this very vibrant green color is on here is probably pushing these closer to 21. So these are probably getting into, because Noritake didn't even exist as a name until after, I think, 1912 or 1914. So these are going into the late teen years. But it's a perfect pair of plates. They are, let's see, about 8 inches across. It also has the Moriage on here. So just to clarify what we're dealing with, the green is painted directly onto the plate. And I'm sorry, thank you, Karen. These are a $15 start for the pair. So you get both, $15 start. The green is painted directly onto the porcelain, and it's the gold. Every place where the gold is outlining something is the Moriage. It's the raised slipware. But then there's also there's this gold smack in the middle that is painted directly onto the plate. So that's not like a big old pile of gold. That's actually flat. So it's kind of a combination. But just check this out. I mean, the detail on the gold is all still in perfect condition. You've got the chrysanthemums in a set of 3 is the lucky number. You've got the scroll work. It's got the Nouveau swishes going. So deco hasn't taken over yet. But it is ornate and elaborate over the top. It's fantastic design in the middle. Now, if you put a big old pile of spaghetti on there, I do not know what you're going to do when you're trying to eat it. So I don't think these were necessarily designed for dining ware. I think even though it's called royal crockery, I'm still thinking that these were cabinet pieces. Like this was designed, how fantastic would this be propped up behind a piece of glass, a piece of uranium glass, put this up on a little stand. You got 2 of them. They are fantastic. No chips, no cracks, absolutely super thin porcelain too. You can't see it because all the light's coming at me, but I can see the medallion entirely outlined through the back because of how thin the porcelain is. So we've got bone china. It's a perfect hard paste porcelain. Fantastic. It looks great. I saw some bids coming in, so I'm going to start counting them down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can do this. Stop.
Those colors are lovely.
Yeah, like Roxanne, wish they fit their decor. For something like this, I would make my decor fit. Like these, I almost kept. These are so beautiful.
Is that like lavender with the green?
It's just green and gold, and then inset it's actually black.
Oh, why am I seeing lavender?
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Now that you say that, but no, it's. Oh, you know what? Maybe the background of that lattice work. You're right. There might be. I just thought it was because of the paint. I thought it was just a darker version of the porcelain. But you're right. There may be a little bit of lavender in there. I didn't even see that. Good eye. One benefit of having lights that are blinding me as I hold this up. All right. So I lost my pen. Who gets these?
Patsy?
Patsy M gets them for $19 for the pair. Congratulations, Patsy.
Well, I have 2 plates of 2 of our martyred, I guess you'd say, past presidents. And of course, there are 4 of them. And if you saw the preview earlier today, you know the 2 that I have. And I'll show them to you now. Thank you. That's wonderful. We now have close to 300 folks here. I think we've been flirting around the 300 mark. And I just thank you again, everyone, for being here. We're marching towards Easter, and it's wonderful. And we're having hints of warmer weather here and there. I know we're excited about that. But thank you, everybody, for being here tonight and joining me and Patrick. The 2 plates that I have are going to start now. It's 2 for 1 money, and it's $23 for both of them. And here they are. I'll give you the dates and the manufacturers in just a second. But we've got the first plate, which features Garfield, President Garfield. This is the Garfield Memorial Plate. This was made by Campbell, Jones and Company. These both start at I thought I said this. Yeah, 23. This was introduced in 1881. Campbell and Jones used the same design for memorial plates for Garfield, Philip Sheridan, and U.S. Grant. But in this case, we're commemorating the death of Cleveland, of President Garfield. There he is, and we have just simply the word memorial. Everybody knew who he was, so we didn't need to put his name on it. From 1901 is the slain William McKinley. This is very Victorian. It is God's way, his will be done. You know, that's just very 1901. He was born in 1843 and was assassinated in 1901. So we have both bread plates. And that plate, the McKinley commemorative plate by the United States Glass Company. This was introduced, of course, in 1901, the year that he was assassinated in Buffalo. This is what it says from the Trade magazine. I'd like to read it to you. Now, both of them are in good shape. There might be a flea bite, but there are no serious chips. And remember, we are 1881. We are 1901. These are two of the assassinated United States presidents. Here's what it says about the McKinley plate. This was printed in the Crockery and Glass Journal of October the 3rd, 1901. Modelers are at work on our 4 new patterns for this coming year. They have just issued a memorial tray that is designed with taste and neatly executed in fine crystal glass. Now, when they said crystal glass in those days, they didn't mean lead, they meant clear. There's no lead in this. The demand for it is remarkable. Well, I'm not surprised because McKinley was a very popular president, was very well loved when he was assassinated. It's hardly on the market yet, and orders by the thousands have been received and continue to pile up daily. It is elliptical in shape, and then it just goes on and on. So you'll get the papers that right off of the database, the EAPG database, so you'll know what you're getting. Commemorating the death of William McKinley, 1901. Commemorating the death of Garfield, 1881. They're both bread plates. And the Victorians loved this kind of thing. Good grief. They were doing this for Martin Luther King and John Kennedy, right? How many of you walked into those houses in the 60s and 70s and there was that LK, Robert Kennedy, and John F. Kennedy, you know, the 3 pictures? You know what I'm talking about, you folks my age, right? Anyway, we'll count the 2 plates down, and I think our high bid is Terry at 25.
Yeah.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on those plates. And then I've got a couple pieces of, let's get these cookbooks out of the way. So, yeah, you remember those things on the wall? Then we'll do these cookbooks, and that'll. Well, where am I? Here I am. Did the stop go in? I don't see it yet. There it is. It's Cheryl Miller at 38 on the 2 commemorative plates. Thank you, Cheryl. We're going to start at $20 next, and I've got 20 cookbooks. Let me get through this generic speech first. They have their covers front and back. They don't smell like a moldy basement. They're not filled with silverfish. They're ready for you to sit on your sofa in your robe and look through them. I know that's important. A lot of times, sometimes with ephemera, I've gotten ephemera before and it's crumbling or it stinks like a moldy basement and you go, ooh, these are okay. Do they have some stains, a little rip, a little tear? Yes, but we don't have any major problems with any of these. Having said that, they're all from basically 19, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, maybe one or two into the 70s. And it's $20 and you get the whole stack. We're not going to look through these. We'll look at the covers and we'll keep the ball rolling. 200 tested recipes by Olive Green. That's very 1920-ish. See that? Again, it just takes too long to go through them all. The Metropolitan Cookbook. That one is obviously very 1920s. And not the Metropolitan Opera, but the Metropolitan Insurance Company. That's looking very 1920s. I have my eye on the screen if there is a question. Made dishes, salads and savories. That one is very early 20s. She's got on her high lace boots and she's not yet bobbed her hair. This is my favorite. It's called Modern Modes in Meat. Look how deco that is, Patrick.
That's amazing.
1934. I bet you put a lot of cornflakes in the meatloaf to stretch it out in 1934. Now we're getting into some nasty mayonnaise and fish paste jello. This must be the 50s.
Pull out the aspic.
Ugh. Summertime cook. I'll take the deviled eggs, but I know that jello mold is nasty. I can just tell you. Oh, Elsa Maxwell. She was quite a personality. I think she wrote a column. She was like a society column. She was up there with the Dorothy Kilgallen and all that lot. You know, she was. Am I thinking of Parkin? No, Elsa Maxwell. Anyway, you can entertain the way Elsa Maxwell could. Nobody remembers her today. Here's vitamin.
I recognize the name.
That's looking very 1940s. Get your vitamins. Look at that. And that's got. There's 20 of them here. Here we're in the 50s. She's thrilled to have on those heels and a skirt, making that turkey. Prize
winning turkey.
Yeah. Oh, 4-H.
Oh, 4-H.
Snacks and meals. Dormeyer. I think they made a mixer, a blender. Appliance. Good Health, 1959. The children are praying that the mother will feed them tonight, and they won't get sent to their rooms without dinner. Patrick, I don't know about you, but late last night, I was lying awake in bed and I was thinking to myself, you know what, Scott? I don't think you're getting enough out of your Mixmaster.
Yeah, so always got more potential.
Well, I had to go and grab this manual because I don't want to lie awake at night and thinking I'm not getting the most out of my Mixmaster. So this is how you can get the most out of it. It's very important. We've got from the 60s or the 70s, we have American favorite recipes. That's looking very 70s, early 80s-ish.
Oh, yeah.
That's a thick one. Remember those dark kitchens like that? Okay, let's go to the 1948 electric range.
Nice. Wow. Four different doors for that one.
Yeah, she's cooked. She's got, that's what those, she must be, what is this? Cooking with condensed soup. Family fare, food management. And I love having my food managed. I don't quite like, that sounds like a nursing home. I don't want my food managed. Oh, so 50s looking. Look at that with a little binder.
Betty Crocker.
Isn't that neat? That one. Gosh.
Yeah.
Help make America strong. Talking about not getting political, which we shan't.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, we're making America strong again by the American Can Company. And we're supposed to have, and look at this big one, Patrick.
Holy cats.
Holy cats. This, I think, is 1959. And it just
General
says,
Foods?
Yeah. General Foods Cookbook. Is it backwards? It's probably backwards.
No, you have it right. You had it upside down initially, but no, you got it.
So that's the General Food. That's got
I remember those became the like favorite brand cookbooks or something like that. So you suddenly would have recipes about Hershey's chocolate and everything was named by its brand as opposed to just random, you know, chocolate.
Well, this has 436 pages in this cookbook. And this one,
Wow.
yeah, almost 350 pages. And I'll just tell you, this one is dated 1959. That's it. All 20 of them. I'm not sure where we are on the bidding.
You had definitely some people going in. It's scrolled past, so I don't know
Yeah,
where we're at, but
so I'm going to count them down. I guess everyone is keeping an eye on where the bids were, and I do
I think
apologize.
Benita has it at 30 is where
Okay.
where we've left off.
Okay, then we'll count the cookbook collection down, and here it goes, all 20 of them. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it on the cookbooks. Those are going to be my two items, and I'm getting ready. Susan just we'll wait and see. The stop is in, and gosh, I don't know who it is. Good grief.
Okay, I guess I missed somebody. Oh, because okay, yes, Susan is at 31, and I missed that one, so that's plenty before the stop.
Is it Susan who? Is it because I can't look up Susan.
It's Susan Q9N3M.
Okay, give me just 1 second. Please bear with me, everyone. For just 1 second, it was 31. And I won't be able to look you up under the name Susan. I've got to have the whole thing. So it was Susan. Now I can write it down.
So it's Susan Q9, N is in Nancy, 3, M is in Mary.
Okay. Q9N3M, Susan. And that's the 20 cookbooks at 31. Thank you,
At 31.
Susan. All right. Thank you, Susan.
Good pickup. There's some fun cookbooks.
You got it. Thank you.
Okay. I will try and do this as quickly as Scott did because now I have a stack of ephemera.
Yeah. Go for it.
So what I've got is not cookbooks. I have movie magazines. So from the 1940s through 1950. So this is a $28 start and you get all of them. So we're going to start out with the little one on top. You've got an Inside Hollywood, the intimate story of United Artists. This is part 2, so I apologize. I do not have part 1, but it appears to stand alone. Part 1 was United Artists, the founding. This is about all of the movie stars and the movies that they ended up releasing. This has a date in it of 1947. So this is toward the later end, but you've got some great color on the outside and just some great movie stills and professional stills, actor stills of the people of the era. That is the only thing like that. That's Inside Hollywood. The rest of them are picture posts. That is also published in Scotland for some reason. United Artists is an American company, but it was published in Scotland. The rest of these are also British magazines. So the top one is from 1950. This is the latest of the stack. And this is Gone to Earth, Jennifer Jones in a new film. Because it's later, we do have some color ads. So look at that great ad for Delta Luzies, made by Lotus. I have no idea what that says. The ads are going to be British ads. So there's some fun stuff in here. Cleanies. Also in some color. So you got a color ad for Disprin. So these are, to me, are just entertaining to go through because they're of the period. Some great photography. Like you want to see a fish eat. I don't know why you would want to, but you could then cook him with the cookbooks from Scott. Life in a Castle. So it's a combination of popular interest movies and just like a people magazine. And all the rest, this whole stack are all from 1942. So I'm not going to be able to go through all of them, but these are all dated from 1942. So we've got the first sign of spring. At the bottom, we have the new war minister, because what's happening in 1942? Great Britain is still in the middle of the war. So they're being bombed, but they're still putting out ads about Bird's custard. So make the most of milk with bird custard. And it's just like us with the depression. You're going to find recipes or find ads that talk about, hey, you probably don't have any food, so here's how you make it last. So there's bird custards and jellies. So, and they're all about the same length. The 50s one is a little bit longer. This one is 28 pages long. So you kind of know what you're getting. But there's some great photography, vintage ads. Then we've got this one's this is from June of 42. Girls are taking over the balloon barrage. So we've got some war era stories. Halton's National Weekly in this issue, second front, for and against. A great uniform ad on the back. So again, same about length, but again, great photography. It looks like I didn't know you surfed in England, but okay, good to know. So you've got that one. Then this is August of 1942. I guess kids still had to play, even though they were, being bombed at the same time. Winteringham on Russia. So you got some politics in that. Another big ad for Bird's Custard, but it's a different ad. And again, great photography, some vintage ads, all from 1942. Then we definitely have a war cover. So you've got In the Trenches, the last lap of the assault course, the end of a 60-foot climb up a cliff face. The army hardens up. So again, the army, this is the British Army, but we're May 1942. This has got Lotus shoes on the back. I'm about to do a video. I'm selling some newspapers that are about the end of World War II. I was almost in tears reading one of the newspapers from VGA Day. All of the companies made war era ads specifically promoting the end of the war. They were closed for the day. And I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it. There was just stuff that you don't see anymore. And I want to do a video to showcase just those ads. So then you've got this one, Betty Davis on the cover. So again, we're still in 42. This is April of 42. Another Lotus shoe ad on the back. Again, great photography inside all of that era with some ads, and again, stuff you probably never even heard of. CeeLo Film. I don't know if we have that here. Champion. Hey, we had Champion spark plugs. And then the last one, it just says goodbye to summer. I don't know who that is. At first I thought it was Marilyn Monroe, but I don't think it is because it's 1942. I think that'd be too early for her. The Army finds a new way of choosing officers. So it's probably just a British photo. Again, some great photographs inside. The Belle of New York is True Gaiety. Some war eras. They have some airplane shots. Make it a mannequin weekend with mannequin cigars. Andrew liver salts, because you can't live without your liver salts. So I just lost count, but that's everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from 1942. A thicker one from 1950, and I'm just going to throw in the Inside Hollywood United Artists from 1947. I saw some bids come in, so I'm going to go ahead and start counting them down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And it's covers like this that then throw you when you realize that this is in the middle of World War II. And for them, it was the middle of World War II because they started World War II in 1939. They were in it a lot longer than we were. But kids still had to be kids. 1939 to 1945, kids grow up in 6 years, if they're lucky. Foods that fight fatigue. For vitamin C, for vitamin B1. There's a stop. Okay. It looks like, I'll let Karen refresh for me because I see one bid that came in after the stop. So it might be Lucas for 52, but it might be Florida Golden Girl. Lucas, thank you, Karen. So Lucas picks them up for 52.
Mr. Lucas.
All right. And then I told you I had some. We're back to more Nippon. So we love our pairs. I had a pair of plates. Now I've got a pair of vases. So this is a start of $28, and you get both. I'm sorry?
That's a wonderful, cheap starting price.
Hey, I got to take care of our people here.
I
You know,
know, but that's
we'll let the market
deal.
balance. Let the market balance itself out. But you get two hand painted and stamped Nippon with the M Morimura Brothers stamp on it. So again, we are after 1892, before 1921, and most likely before 1912, because that's about when they started introducing the actual Noritake name. So Morimura is still doing just the M. So you're after, I would say, based on this design, you're probably after 1900. But they are in absolutely perfect condition. I'm just going to hold one up at a time.
Those are beautiful, and
aren't they? They're in absolutely fantastic condition. They've got this open, I hope you can see it. You've got this open negative space where the handle has actually been pulled and reapplied. So, there's actually some design work put into this. Beautiful coloration on here. Definitely you've got the lavenders, you've got some yellows, you've got the pink. You even got a little bit of the orange down here. I don't have my husband here to tell me what kind of flowers those are. I don't think they're chrysanthemums, but I don't know. They are even decorated to a lesser extent, but they're even decorated on the back. So because of their size, and I should tell you the size, they are 8.5 inches tall, handle to handle. They're 5.5 inches wide, but they're only about 3 inches thick. So they're really designed most likely for as part of a garniture set for your mantle. So they did go ahead and paint the back just in case you wanted to put them on a table so you would see the back. But a lot of times when it's got a thin profile like this, you would have two pieces on either side of a clock. Would be the most common garniture I've seen. You can sometimes have a candelabra. But they're painted basically identically. So you can see they are not a mirrored pair. And that is exactly what Eugene is asking. They are basically the exact same design. You can see little differences in how they were painted. So, they are hand painted, but they are not a mirror image of each other. So they are two of a production set of this one design. But the colors are fairly consistent. So you can see what, the pink is popping out really nicely. The lavender, I apologize that the light is really not being my friend today, but try and get a little bit outside the shadow. But even like the pink against that orange, you even have a black on there. Black wasn't all that common in the painting because it was dark. So they just really gave some nice depth, and it fades down to really light color. But then you have a beautiful painted foot as well. So I do see a couple of prices, bids came in. So I'm just go ahead and start counting it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And I'm going to hold them the same way. This is the side that matches. This is the side that I've had them flipped. And so it made it look like they didn't match. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop.
Very nice.
Watching for the stop to come up. All right. Looks like Lucas picked those up for 47. Thank you so much, Lucas.
Those are pretty. I have two pieces of American Brilliant cut glass. They're not the same pattern, but I'm going to sell both of them together, and both pieces are one price. It's $25 for both pieces of American Brilliant cut glass. Here's one piece, which I won't call a nappy because I think a nappy only has one handle, and this has two. So we have a wonderful serving dish for the table. and another smaller roll, a cupped uh, rolled edge serving dish for the table as well. Both of them containing lead, of course, because they are American Brilliant Cut, of which there were thousands and thousands of patterns. Very time consuming to try to look up who made it and what the pattern is. You can spend days, weeks, and never really be able to figure out who it is, because usually these aren't signed. And even if they are signed, it can be very difficult to find a signature. The other tricky thing about American Brilliant Cut glass is this. You can't tell if it's chipped by feeling it. Why not? Because it already feels like it's all chipped up because it's cut glass. You know, with pressed glass, you'll feel it. But with American Brilliant, because it's cut, it already feels like it's got flea bites and chips all over it. The only way to see if there's damage really is to look at it. I probably own about 50 pieces of American Brilliant cut glass, and I would bet you that 49 of those pieces have some minor flea bites or minor chipping. I don't know about you, but I can't find American Brilliant cut glass without some type of damage, and I think it's because it's just so heavy, meaning that you go put it on a shelf, you just barely touch it against something, and it just chips. These are respectable, meaning I would use these on my dining room table, and I'm picky. So is there a flea bite? Sure. Is there a little bit of a tiny bit, maybe just a shaving off of a tooth? Probably. But again, I can't find this, but whether that it doesn't have any, when there's no damage. American Brilliant cut after the Civil War and the early, what do you call it? The early Edwardian age. Yes, way over 100 years old. And it's both pieces. So that one measures 8 inches. And of course, it's heavy and it's leaded glass, and that's why it sparkles so beautifully in the light. So there's that piece, and then there's this piece here, which is also for serving. Very nice, both pieces. I'm starting to slowly introduce a few of these American Brilliant pieces. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you. Put these where the morning sun comes in. You'll get up extra early every morning just to look at the display of beautiful light on your walls. And if you appreciate brilliant cut glass, you already know what I'm talking about. You're not disappointed the way it sparkles. The high bid right now is 34, and we'll count them down. 10, 9, 8, I don't know which is my favorite. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And I want to thank Carmen, who gifted those cookbooks to me and said, sell them. Carmen, thank you. Hope you're feeling okay tonight. And I also want to thank someone who's in the chat right now who likes to remain anonymous, but she knows who she is, and she gifted me a bunch of books about American Brilliant Cut, and I love those books. So we've counted this down. I love the ABC I purchased from you, Scott. One of my. Karen, I knew you would love that ABC. Oh, did I count it down? I'm terrible.
Yes.
I did? Okay.
Yes.
See, I run my mouth, and I don't know what I've done. But I needed to say thank you to those folks. The stop is in, and it's Lucas at 47.
Yep.
Thank you, Lucas, and all who bid. Thank you, Lucas, and all who bid. I think this next little thing is fun. $30 a set for 2. This is lunch or dinner just for 2. This could be Easter dinner for you and your loved one. This is W.S. George pottery, and I put these 2 little luncheon set or dinner sets together. You're going to get both sets. You have 2 dinner plates, 2 luncheon plates, or dessert plates, 2 small bread and butter plates, and 2 cups and saucers. It's $30 for all of it. It's not chipped or cracked, and it is pottery. W.S. George is an American company, and this would be a 1930s, 30s into the 40s. And so I love the colors. So this is to start a little collection for you, and you can go out and get more. Now, I mixed all these colors together. And the reason for that is I was in a thrift shop with D, and we were on the floor. There was a whole bunch of this. Most of it was chipped, cracked, whatever, crazed. I tried so hard to put together a place setting and couldn't do it. So then I started mixing up the colors. There's a pink saucer and a blue teacup. There's a big dinner plate, which is 9 inches or luncheon. There's the next size plate, which is for your dessert. And then the even smaller plate, which is for a bread or a butter. And it's 2 stacks of them. So you get all of these pieces, and you might start a new collection. The W.S. George is chip-free, crack-free, craze-free, and it is $30 for the set of dinner for 2. Or luncheon for 2. Or if you're hungry, set the table for 2. Fill all of the plates. Eat from one chair, get up, move to the next chair, and have seconds, and you've got your plate already ready. Counting them down, we have a bid of 30. That's Brenda Juleray. Is that right? Julerat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. And we'll see where these are going to go. And then we'll bring the huckster back.
Watching for the stop. I think it's fun when you mix and match like that. I just did a dinner party. I went to a dinner party, and there were 10 of us, I think. And probably out of necessity, she had all vintage layout. Everybody got a different set. Now, what I found interesting was my set was all matched, but nobody else had my set. Yeah, so they didn't mix and match the plates with each other. It was like, so like I had what seemed all match, but then next to me, so you didn't have to try and piece together, a serving of 10 for the multiple courses that were being served and all the flatware and everything. So we were out there inspecting each other's flatware in China. Like, oh, what did you get?
That's neat. And Brenda, I want to thank you. I'm not sure that I recognize your name. If you would send me an email now, Brenda, that way you and I are connected. I just can't simply remember if I know you. If I have forgotten you, I apologize. If you're new, congratulations to a bidder and winner tonight. Brenda, if you're not sure what I need, we'll put it on the screen. And if you just shoot that information my way, I can get that invoice out to you either tonight or tomorrow morning. Patrick, it's your turn.
All right. So my next item is admittedly a little specialized, but it's something that's near and dear to my heart because it's all about history and they're just little works of art. And I've talked about them before. It is not geld. So I'm going to start saying this is a $20 start. And for that $20, you get all of this. So this is a full lot. But if you have no idea what I'm talking about, so German currency at the time of World War I was fascinating. So what I have is a little visit through time. This is an absolutely beautiful, look at how detailed this money is. This is 100 Reichsbank or 100 marks Reichsbank note, and it's dated 1910. The war had not started yet. We also have a 1,000 marks Reichsbank note, also from 1910. The war hasn't started yet. In 1920, this is 1919. All of these are dated. I'm not making this up. So this one has it right there, June 24th, 1919. This is after the war. This is for 50 marks. So they're still printing currency. You've got, there's this beautiful portrait there, this absolutely beautiful engraving work done on the back. For currency, they were still able to print it. However, after the World War I ended, they didn't have enough access to metal. So when they were dealing with their coinage, they started also printing it on paper. And so what you have is something called Notgeld. And I should have actually figured out. Some of these actually say Notgeld. Here's one. Some of them say Notgeld right on them. You can see at the top. And so what Notgeld is emergency money. Geld is money, gold. You know, it's the words kind of translates gold. But Notgeld is literally, it's still currency, but it's basically a promissory note. So they got dates printed on them. This one is dated 1919. Sometimes they're hard to see, but this one's fairly easy to see. So this was right again at the end of the war. It's 25 pfennigs. So a pfennig is basically like what cents are to a dollar, pfennigs are to a mark. So they didn't have coins, they didn't have metals. So they just printed these little pieces of paper, and they were all done by individual towns. So, you know, this was 50 printed by in Lübeck. So you've got, you know, one of the churches from Lübeck, and then you've got the beautiful shield of the town of Lübeck. This one is, sometimes it's hard to tell. Like that's just 25 cents, 25 pfennigs. But the city would be on there as well. This is from Beilingenstadt und Vorvis. So that's the name of the town. And, you know, I've got the religious aspect on there. This is the tower that was in this town. So these are all from Germany. Another one, look at just the detail. Like these are like little works of art. And the idea was you would hold on to these for a couple of years, and eventually they'd have enough metal. You could trade these in. So you could use them as currency, but you could trade them in. If you listen to one of my videos, what happened within a couple of years of the end of World War I, hyperinflation kicked in. So something that was 75 pfennigs, as beautiful as this is, became literally worth nothing because a loaf of bread was millions of marks. So something that was 75 cents, it literally couldn't buy you anything. It wasn't worth what the paper was printed on. So most of them are pristine. They were never circulated. They got handed out, and then no one ever used them because they couldn't, because within a couple of years, they became literally worthless. So this is a mix. Some of them have been folded. So admittedly, some of these have circulated, but a lot of these are absolutely pristine. And what happened in Germany and in Austria. So then I also have Austrian money. And so this is a Heller, and that is the coinage in Austria. So again, this was done at Ebertstalzell. This is the church from Ebertstalzell. So these were, you know, each town would commission their own artists to create something that was unique to their town. And you got these beautiful little I mean, this one's like a photograph. You got these beautiful little collections that were never intended to be collected. But currency is a big thing, and this is a special little thing. I do like international stuff. So I was naturally attracted to these to begin with when I picked these up on my honeymoon, and I kept all the ones that were issued from the towns that we visited. So they became our own little, our own little souvenirs from the towns that we went to. So anyway, so there are 15 of these. Started at $20. We've got up 25. I will go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. And I do thank you, December Snow Angel. It is a fascinating history, and most people don't know about it. Why would we? But that's what happens to war. You don't have enough supplies, and you got to make it work. You got to do something. And so the fact that every town, like this is a whole area of collecting, because you can collect by town, you can collect by, because then you'd have I think they're 25, 50, and 75. So you could collect all three, and they'd be different. So totally cool stuff. So that was the Notgeld, watching for the stop. And it looks like I'm seeing Melinda Shahan for 28. And that was just one item, Scott. So Thank you. Next item is another piece of Nippon porcelain. And so we are doing, this is a $15 start. And it's because, right off the bat, in one of the ruffles, there is a rough spot. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I remembered that this one had something on it, and that's why I pulled it aside, and I wanted to make sure I said it. I have a hard time finding where the little rough spot is. So it is not obvious. You do not see it. So it's not visible. It is entirely only by feel. So, but I'm really big on condition. So I'm being very honest with this. There it is. It's right here. There's a little bit of a rough spot here that feels like there's a little bit of a chip or a flea bite on there. So I'm just being honest that that's there. And that's why it's only starting at $15 because this piece is gorgeous. It's double-sided. So it was designed to go on a center table. This was designed for the dining room table. This was designed for something that people would be walking on both sides. So you could either leave it by itself, or it has a very narrow throat to it. It could be a reed vase. It could be an ivy vase. Ivy vases became more popular in like the 50s, but or it just becomes a piece of objet d'art that you're just looking at these beautiful flowers. These are chrysanthemums. You do also have the moriage on here. So all of this ribbing down here, the band work that's been done, all of that is raised gold. You also have raised gold up here by the throat. So there's just this amazing filigree detail that's being done up around the throat that even kind of like fits into the flowers. Like this was just, these are all done by hand. This is also stamped. This is a different mark that I never, it's called Oriental China, still Nippon though. So we're still in Japan. So it's a legitimate mark, but I don't exactly know what company that one was issued by, but we're still between 1892 and 1921. The fact of those that scrolly aspect to me is very nouveau. So this one I would guess, and I'd welcome Scott to weigh in as well. I'd be putting this one right around the turn of the century into the 1890 to 1910. Just because of that design. There's no angularity to this at all. It's very sinuous. It's very sexy. It's very Art Nouveau. And these were done for the Western market. So they were being made in Japan, but they were definitely designed to go to a Western audience. Beautiful symmetry though in the handles. 3 feet, the stablest form you can have. So it will never wobble. It'll never be uneven. There is gold on all the feet. It's not painted in the back because you wouldn't see the back. So it's not worn off in the back. It just wasn't painted that way. But you can see, may have been handled a little bit, may have gotten wet. There might have been a little bit of wear right where the feet gold meets the body. But other than that little ruffle hiccup, there's no damage to this. There's no chips. There's no cracks. It's absolutely beautiful. And I will go ahead and count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Gotta make my description so I remember. Double-handled bulbous vase. I don't confuse it with anything else. Watching for the stop before we go back to Scott. And it looks like it is Melinda Shahan again for $40. Thank you so much, Melinda.
Okay. I have 3 pieces of black glass, and we're just going to knock all 3 pieces out. Okay, $10. Here we go. No chips or cracks. Most of the gold is there. There's a few little areas here where some of the gold has come off, which is pretty typical for gold. It's usually not that stable. Most of the time, almost all the gold is gone. So pretty respectable, the amount of gold that's left on this. Now, it is glass. It is black glass, and it is circa 1930. It starts at $10, and it is chip-free and crack-free. And when I hold it up to the light, I don't see any light coming through it at all to indicate that there's any purple or amethyst. So it appears to be black, 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 black glass. And it's a console, a center console bowl. And this is $10 with this wonderful gold encrusted band. As you can see, it's footed on the bottom. Norma Roof has the opening bid of $10. There's two more pieces of black glass after this, and Patrick started the show. I may end the show unless there's something else, Patrick, that you're dying to sell and you want to go over. We'll bring it back to you and we'll let you sell something else. Well, we are knocking on the door of 10 p.m. I'm counting this down. The high bid is 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the black glass console bowl with encrusted gold decorations circa 1930. I could have held on to these until the autumn season when I do the orange and the black, but I said, do it now. Do it now. We'll wait for the stop to come in. And while I'm waiting for the stop to come in, I'll let you look at the next piece. But I'm not going to talk about it yet. Norma Roof wins at 17. Norma Roof at 17. That's the piece with the gold on it. This piece also in my hand. Norma, thank you. This piece also starts at $10, and it is undoubtedly L.E. Smith. Look at that handle. That's a L.E. Smith cake serving plate or serving plate for what have you. It's footed. And again, this is another thing that comes out of the 1930s. And it is this one, when you hold it up to the light, it looks purple. So it's still black glass because unless you hold it up to like a 120-watt light bulb, you don't really see through it to see any of that purple. Just on its own, it is completely black. And those of you who collect black glass, you know. It has two handles. The measurements minus the handles are 10 inches square, so it's 10 inches square. And it's chip-free and crack-free, and you can also see it's not terribly scratched. So if you're adding this to any collection of black glass, the black glass will look jet black. And the high bid with this cake plate, serving plate here is now $21. And on that piece, we'll count it down. And now 25. Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the antique L.E. Smith black glass little serving platter thing. And I've got one more black glass piece. We'll wait for the stop and we'll see who our winner is on that piece. And you're waiting to see this piece.
Ooh, I like that one.
The high bid on the L.E. Smith piece that I've already put on the floor. Oh, the stop isn't in. Okay. Is Kathy Minter at 27? Is that right?
That's what I see.
Kathy, thank you. Kathy Minter at 27. The last piece also starts at $10. This had silver overlay. 90% of the silver is gone. And what you've got left are the ghost marks where the silver was. There's a spot where there's just a little bit of silver left. Let me back up, but I'm getting a...
Yeah, every time you angle it, we can see it. It's perfect.
So there's a little bit of, you can see there's touches of silver there. This is not silver that has tarnished. This is just the residue from whatever the adhesive, whatever the chemicals are when the silver was applied. Granny or Grandpa washed this and they took most of the silver off. It's still cute the way that you can see sort of the ghost marks. They're all on there. And they almost give it like a frosted effect. I hope that's showing up. I don't know.
It does. It shows up nicely, and I think it has a cool effect.
Yeah, a little bit like it's frosted.
Yep. Because it's also something that it's just like if it's on your dinner table, people will not notice it right away until they move their head, and it'll reflect the light differently.
Yeah, because I can't see it at all in this light holding it. You have to hold it a certain way. And so this piece is almost 12 by 12, really 11 and a half by 11 and a half. And it's chip free and crack free. When you hold that up to the light, you do not see any purple. All you see is black. We'll count this piece down. I think, yeah, Randy Tim has a high bid that has the opening bid of 10. It's very deco, the bottom of it. I like that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now that's it on that. And that's it for me for tonight. So those 3 pieces of black glass, we will wait and we'll see who our winner is, and then we'll bring it is exactly 10 p.m. And we could say goodnight. Or Patrick, is there something else you want to squeeze in there? I think there's something Patrick wants to squeeze in there. Squeeze it in.
If you don't mind, I have one. This is the last piece of Nippon that I had pulled aside. The rest are on my booth, so I would like to be able to sell this.
Okay, Patrick, hold on just one second.
Yep.
Norma, thank you. I want to thank you. You are my winner on that last piece of black glass for $12. And now we go to Patrick.
All right, so this is the last piece of Nippon that I have for the evening, and this is a jug with its original cork, and it matches. This is a $20 start. So just like all the others, this is also marked hand-painted Nippon. It still is the M for the More brothers. But this one a very different decorating style than the others, which is also why I wanted to include it this evening. So this one, you can see kind of at the top, it's maybe shows a little bit better what I'm talking about. So Egyptomania was a late Victorian craze that ran through the opening of King Tut's tomb in 1922. But this is still marked Nippon. So this is before 1922. So this is just one of those, just a very different style of painting. You've got these kind of almost landscape motifs created. Like there's kind of a little cave in the hill there. You've got these beautiful, like to me, they do look Northern African. They have these, the palmyra leaves that you would see. Papyrus, a lot more angular. This is kind of giving some of the deco motifs that you'd start picking up in the 20s. It's all here. So it's just this, even the angular handle. If this were closer to the turn of the century, this would have been curved because everything was about being sinuous. This is just a lot more angled. You can see from the bottom, it actually has a shape. It is square. It's just a cool piece. It's just very different from everything else that I've had marked Nippon. And what I also like about it is the fact that this is its original stopper. So you can see the design on the top matches the design on the jug. So there's really no question that they match. And you can even see there's some age on the, how the cork has been worn over time. So what it would have been used for, excellent question. Could it have been a decanter for wine? Maybe. Would it just been used for water? Possibly, although water wasn't the beverage of choice around 1910. It's a cool decorative piece right now. And since I'm already over time, I'm just going to count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. Thank you for letting me add that on, Scott.
Hold tight. We do have some business to take care of, everybody. And it's just something I want to clear up so we don't have anybody who's thinking that they got ripped off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't want that.
But yeah, let's get you. We'll do that, and then we'll. Okay, so Brenda, hold on, Brenda, and I'll answer your question. Thank you. We'll let Patrick get his winner. What spooner, Cheryl? Cheryl asked if I. No, I'm not selling a spooner, but I don't know which spooner you're talking about. If you're talking about the ones I had earlier today, that was a matching set. There was a spooner and a sugar bowl, and I'm going to keep them together, but they're not for sale tonight. If that's the one you're referring to, the stop is in, and our winner is Patsy.
Patsy M at 48.
Okay.
Is that what you see?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
do. And Cheryl, no, because I'm going to sell the spooner and that sugar bowl together because they're matching. They'll come up some other time. I do appreciate you asking. Thank you so much. Let's clear up two things. One, someone asked me, did you get my email? And that was Brenda Jewelry or Jeweleret. I did, Brenda. If you'll just go back to your email, you do tell me that you do have PayPal, but I need to know what the email address is that you used when you created your PayPal account, which is not necessarily the email that you used when you wrote to me. So a lot of times those are different, and I need to know. So I got your info. Will you write to me again, Brenda, and tell me the exact email address that's connected to your PayPal account, and then I can get an invoice to you. And then we have something else to address. I don't know if she is still here, but there is a person who questioned, and let me pull it up. We're going to have to go back to the cookbooks, go back to the inbox. Okay. So it's a person who was bidding, and I do have to clear this up because I got this email says my bid wasn't counted. And this is from a person called Peace Love Homestead. What I need you to know, Peace Love Homestead, is that your bid of $36, I don't know if Karen is able to go back to Cookbooks. I can't actually do that now. You will always see yourself first. Let's just double check and make sure we have the right winner. The Cookbooks, I've got my winner is Susan at $31. I've got Peace, Love, and Homestead. Yours may have come in after the stop, but you sent me an email saying that we didn't count you, and we want to make sure we clear that up.
I found the range. I mean, obviously, Karen needs to weigh in. I found where that is because I was the one that missed Susan's quote or Susan's bid at 31.
Okay.
I don't see anybody named Peace.
Yeah, they whoever it is, they sent me a screenshot, and their screen name is Peace Love Homestead 8361, and they did place a bid of 36. But in their screenshot, they don't tell me anything else. I just want you to know that we don't. You probably came in after a stop, and I just can't go back that far. So as far as I can see, that was Susan was our winner. I can go back and look at it tomorrow. I can't look at it tonight. I don't think I can go back that far. Anyway, yeah. So
And I wonder if Marie Dilly is still here. There's another question that I had missed while I'm scrolling. Just let me know, Marie, if you're still here, and I'll answer your question live.
is that person still here? Melinda? No,
I apologize. I can't find the piece for some reason. I am not seeing it.
Yeah, they give me their real name, but I don't have permission to say that. So I'm not.
No.
Yeah, no, me. I'm not going to say the real name of the person, but the person who emailed me, their chat name is Peace Love Homestead, and it says they put in a bid of 36. Well, I don't see it, so I can't really say anything other than I just want you to know that we have moderators checking, and when you refresh, when you put in a bid, you will see yourself before the stop. And when you refresh, you'll often then see that you came in afterwards.
So Marie asked me about this piece that was behind me. I think this is what she, this is the only thing I can find that's 3-footed. The reason this was not sold tonight was because I broke it.
No, it's not Susan, Karen. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, Susan was the winner, Karen. It's not Susan. It's a person called whatever it was I just said. Susan was our winner. So, but yeah, this other person, Peace Love Homestead 8361. I don't know who it is. That's pretty. Oh, it broke.
Yeah, this was literally part of the lot that I bought at that auction, and I had them together to make my video, and I knocked another piece up against it, and it chipped and it broke off this piece of the ruffle. And so it literally was sitting there just so I didn't lose the piece.
Okay, but I refresh always, never saw that name. I don't know, Karen, I can't explain it. I have an email from this lady and she says, my bid came in before the stop. Why didn't I get counted? So I will write to you. It looks like you're not here. If you were here, you're probably not here. So I'll deal with that. I've had that happen before where people are unfamiliar with how that works and they think they win, but they don't really win. So, I'll have to just answer that person's email to later. Okay. Thank you, Brenda. I'll go.
So Marie, if you're interested in this, Marie, just send me an email and we can work up something privately.
I'll go get that.
I don't want to take up Scott's time to try and sell it.
Yeah, let's keep going, Patrick. Go.
Well, she said to go ahead and sell it and she can glue it. So if anyone else is here, $5. So we'll start it at $5.
Okay.
If anybody else wants it, Marie, you can have it for $5. Oh, there's a question. They may not have subscribed.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have. That's okay. That wouldn't have made a difference if they weren't subscribed because the subscriber mode is gone after 20 minutes and it will show up anyway. So, but thank you though. I appreciate that. That wouldn't make a difference actually. So maybe maybe it's Maybelline.
All right, I'm just going to count it down really quick because it's already after 10. 10, 9. Thanks, Marie, for showing interest in it and having a good eye. Good job grabbing that from behind me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. So I will tape this piece to the inside so it doesn't, break any further. But it's very lightweight, so it shouldn't cost much to ship. But yeah, that was why it was back there.
See, but you know what? And I am so glad this has come up. I just have to tell you, everyone in the audience, this is another reason. And this is a perfect example. This is also why we ask you, please don't congratulate anybody until we tell you who the winner is. I know when I first did that, people are like, Scott, you've got all these rules. And I'm like, yeah, but you go congratulating the wrong person, I get the nasty emails. And so nobody did that tonight. But I'm just saying, this is, anytime there's like a rule, there's usually a reason for it. And that's the reason why we do ask you not to congratulate anybody until we tell you who the winner is, because you can congratulate the wrong person. And if they think they won, and then you have to write to them the next day and say, sorry, no, you didn't. They get mad at. But I'll write to her. I'm sure she'll be fine. Yeah, which one of you is Milton Berle and which one is Bob Hope? I know which one I am.
Your channel, so you get to pick.
I'm Uncle Milton all the way.
I could live with Bob Hope.
You could live with Bob Hope? I don't know.
I could live being Bob Hope.
Okay.
So Marie, if you just I apologize, I don't recognize your name. If you just send me an email, I'll invoice you. And again, I'll try and invoice for everybody by Wednesday. If I'm lucky, I'll do it tomorrow. But well, Scott, this was a good Monday night sale. Sorry we ran late, but we had a good turnout and still got a lot of people hanging out for our chat.
Yeah. I always have a good time when I'm on with you, and I appreciate it. I have an extra Monday this month.
Oh, so. That's right. Yeah.
The
Next
poor
week's the
audience has to
30th.
look at me solo for two more Mondays.
What will your buyers do? I think you'll survive. I think they'll survive. I think they appreciate you when you're by yourself too.
Well, we're glad everyone is here tonight, and thank you, everyone. So good sale, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody. Anything else we need to talk about? Anybody want to throw anything out there before we say toodle oodle noodle?
Appreciate everyone's comments, and I'm glad everyone had fun tonight. Hopefully, everyone learned a little bit something tonight too.
Okay. Well, if nobody wants to bring anything up, we'll give it a second and see if anybody brings up any business, housekeeping, anything you want us to look for. I know you love linens. I had flea market season. It's still a little chilly that early in the morning for me to be out there at 4 a.m. So I'm waiting for a little bit warmer weather before I start hitting the flea markets. But I should have some more linens. The flea markets and the estate sales are going to start really bubbling up here soon.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had some warm and then it went cold again, but our flea market did reopen this month. So it closes for the winter, but it reopened in March. So hopefully I can start going out to that one again.
Going out again. Bring on some American Brilliant. All right. I will bring some more of that. Blanche. Nobody wants Blanche hair. Do you, Patrick? He doesn't even know what we're talking about. Okay. All right. We will sign off. Now
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks again for joining us.
Tell us where you're from and say goodnight. This is my standard way of saying goodnight. Everyone says goodnight from Cincinnati, goodnight from Maryland. You know, I love to do that. And you can call some of them out, Patrick. Your eyesight is better than mine anyway.
Everyone's really, so far I haven't seen the good nights yet, but thank you from Rising Phoenix, Cheryl, Marie, Adam, Susan. Thanks for sticking around till the very end.
Yeah.
Oh, we got December Snow Angel from Canada. Cheryl, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Zach says I have a nearly full collection of chintz, always looking for more. And I like clocks too.
Wait, chintz? You mean chintz what? The chintz?
Yeah, chintz wear China or chintz fabrics?
Yeah, and there's also the chintz pattern by Falstoria. What chintz do you want? Who was that? Connecticut, purple, black.
The chintz was Zach Pyle.
All right, Zach, you got to be more specific with us when you say what kind of chintz do you want?
You've piqued our interest.
Sims
normally looking for more purple black.
Oh, he wants the Falstoria.
Oh, Falstoria. Okay, I don't think I know. I have a book on Falstoria, but I don't think I know the chintz pattern.
Zachary, I have been eating off of Falstoria chintz since I was first born. My grandfather started buying that from my grandmother during the Depression. It's in my mother's china closet right now, and I don't want to inherit it. What would I do with it? But I will find you some chintz. I know it by heart. You have good taste.
That's fantastic. See, to me, I owned a fabric store for 10 years. So to me, chintz is fabric.
Yeah. Yeah. It was also one of the most popular patterns for the Falstoria etch. You have your grandparents? Great. Well, look, Zach, if you want to write to me and tell me the pieces you're looking for, I'd be happy to find you some. Be thrilled to, because I'll find you some. Let me know what you want. Anything else everybody's looking for?
Got Minnesota represented, Connecticut, Ocean County, New Jersey.
Love it.
Florida. Well, hopefully everyone's got some good weather coming your way, and really appreciate everyone joining us.
Okay, good night all. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Boop. Oh, I got to do it again. Boop.